This is super late in the month to be doing my September budget update, but better late than never, right? So here we are with the September update, and we'll shortly have an October update. So thanks for joining me today. All right, so in September we did go slightly, or we were still under budget by a lot. I was looking at the wrong column there. We actually spent under $50 on groceries. A lot of this was trying to use up garden produce. We did visit family quite a few times, but we had a lot of tuna and rice dishes and squash, and we did get that ham on sale, so it was $1.19 a pound. So we had soup and stuff like that. So it was a very cheap month. So our monthly average is still over our annual budget. I'm not sure if we have enough time to get that down, but it is getting pretty close. It's around $154 versus $135. And you can see our total that we've spent so far for the year is still under $1,400. So we did really well on that last month. Dining out, we spent just under $37 and we have budgeted $60. Our monthly average is under $40, so we're doing really well in the dining out category. Like I said, it was a little bit higher this month, but still under budget, so we are happy with that. The phone, kind of like I said before, we're never going to be on track for this. Just because I miscalculated the taxes. I could adjust our budget, but what fun would that be? Got to have something that I'm missing every month, right? But still, $76 is not bad, so we're still happy with that. Car insurance in September, we didn't have to pay anything, so obviously we were under budget there. Our monthly average is $42 a month. This will go up in October because we will have to pay for our car insurance again, but overall we're doing really well with that. Vehicle maintenance, we also hit that as we didn't have to do any vehicle maintenance last month. We budgeted $50 a month or $600 a year, and our monthly average is around $27, and most of that has come from like car tabs and registration stuff. I think we have a stockpile of oil and we change our own oil, which is why our vehicle maintenance is so low. If you're wondering why we've spent like no money this year, we do all of our own oil changes, all of our own repairs. We haven't really had repairs, and we stockpiled on oil with the Sam's Club thing, so we're good basically. Fuel and gas, we spent less than $50. We haven't really been traveling all that much, so this is less than half of our budget. A lot of Race's fuel cost is covered. He has to drive a work truck and they pay for that, so that's why we're able to keep it so low. If he was driving a personal vehicle all the time on the job site, it would be quite a bit higher, but we are sitting well there for the year also. Our household, our utilities, I maybe lowballed this. I didn't really want to take into account all of the increases, so I've kept the same budget since we moved into our house 5 years ago, and most years we've been able to keep up with that. This year the inflation is finally caught up, I think, and I've been a little bit more of a baby when it comes to the heating and cooling and all of that stuff. We did use the air conditioner a lot more this year than previously, and now it's been a freezing September. We had snow in September, which was awful. So we spent just less than $10 over our budget, but we are over for the year, and we're averaging $10 over per month for the year. It's been cold so far, so I expect that we're not going to hit our yearly budget for this, but that's okay for one of the things to not do amazingly on. We're still pretty close, and we will kind of have to adjust that next year, as I was just trying to use less to make up for those 7% increases we've had almost every year since we've been here, but it's finally catching up, and I don't want to sit in a freezing cold house or a house that's like 90 degrees either. So that's my fault, kind of, but at the same time I want to be comfortable, and that's not something I'm willing to sacrifice just to hit our budget when we can cut from other places. Our mortgage, that stayed the same. Like I said, our budget was higher than what we're actually paying because the escrow and taxes and stuff kind of got screwed up last year. So we are on par for that. Home supplies, we only spent $8.28 this month, and our budget is $30, and our average is just under that, so we are doing well there. The fun stuff. We only paid for Netflix in September. Our monthly average is over $31, but our budget is $50. So we didn't really do a whole lot with race working weekends. Again, we haven't really had much opportunity to like go out and do fun stuff. Clothing, we didn't spend anything in September, so our monthly average is almost half of what, or a little over half of what we budgeted, so that's really good. And then our miscellaneous spending, we didn't spend anything. Again, when we've been so busy, we haven't really had a chance to spend that much, so we're sitting just over half of our budgeted amount for our monthly average. All right, medical. We didn't have to pay for insurance or co-payments. So insurance, we've spent $0 this year. Like I said, that's because it's covered through our works, and if it wasn't, we would, like if we were only making what our budget is based on, it would be covered through government subsidies. At least this year. That may change next year depending on what income levels they say. But I imagine if you're only making $30,000 to $40,000 a year, you will be covered for insurance. For prescriptions, I did spend $5, so our monthly average is just over $4. So this is well below our prescription cost for the year. Over-the-counter drugs, I did spend $11 to get some more Sudafed. Hopefully allergies will be dying off here so I don't have to keep buying that. But our average is above the budgeted amount. However, this month we did stay under. We didn't have any co-payments this month, so we are under budget for that as well. Finally, savings. We budgeted $168 roughly dollars. We actually saved over $700, which was huge, so it brings our monthly average to almost twice what we budgeted. All of those categories that we're low on are going straight into savings, so that means we were able to save $700 off of a $2,400 income. So I mean, that's not a third, but it's definitely more than 25% savings off of that low of an income. So I just wanted to show that it can be done. That's not taking any money from Race's income. That's all going into our retirement savings. So that it can be done. Like, we obviously were bare bones this month, and that's like all we did was work, so we didn't really have time to spend any money, and we did have the garden produce coming in. Like I said, we visited some family, so we ate meals there, and that saved on groceries as well. But overall, we did fairly. So our wins, we won on just about everything. I'm not going to list those because it's a long list. The only things that we didn't do well on was our phone and our utilities. And our phone I can't cut down on, so that's going to stay on the list for the next couple months. And our utilities, we could win on that, like I explained earlier why we're not. And that's okay. We might not meet that for the year, so we'll adjust that going forward to next year. But overall, we are almost $108 under budget for the year, so that'll all go into savings. So we did really well this year so far. And thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below, and join us next month for another budget update, which will actually be in a couple weeks, hopefully, if I can get back on schedule. Thanks again, and have a great day.